Well,
Well, I'll offer this maybe have a comment on it. I know that IBM bought SPSS recently, and that SPSS has the main text analyzer for qualitative research. We've been doing qualitative research for 25 years, and all new to the world products and digital products and services. And I know that this is significant because now you're able to take a lot of that blog content and you can run it through a process whereby you can have it now start to cluster. So you can kick out and say, okay, take all that, and it does all the algorithms for synonyms and phraseologies and all these things, and you can actually then come out with a 5 or 6 part cluster that you're able to look at. I know that's going to be the fact that IBM bought SPSS for that, and I would just offer too that I did not go to Marketing Research Association this year, but at the the executive one at Boca Raton, but the statistician we work with did, and he said that all they're talking about is what you're talking about right now, which is that we need better ways to analyze the qualitative, because the quantitative, they're all stuck on what's the conversion change. And the third point I would make is that at Internet Retailer in Orlando, where I was this year, they couldn't. You see this gap. You see people who are, I think it was like three case studies presented where people are talking about the shopping basket conversion, and they're focused in on that. And then at the front end, all these other presentations about, still about the language of the internet and how you put together a decent website so that people don't leave quickly, So there's this big gap in between. They don't even deal with how do you measure that, the qualitative experience that the user's going through. So I think just to kind of underscore what you're saying, and that I think that you're going to see stuff happen in the next year, especially with the text analyzer from SPSS being more prolific out there. You'll see it as a service.
Can you introduce yourself? Because I don't,
My name's Brendan Elliott.
Okay, to everybody, yeah. And what's your background?
I have a consulting practice. I've been doing marketing research for product development and digital products and services.
Okay.
Do you have a blog? Or
no, I don't. I've been journaling stuff to put a blog up, but I don't have it up yet. But the reason I'm here is to kind of understand where I'm going to talk about.
What niche you're going to?
We're at demand side. This is Mark Cesaria, a senior consultant, and we spend we've done over 1,000 focus groups and usability lab. We built a usability lab before you could get usability labs.
Wow.
And done all that stuff. So we're very much into the demand side. So we like the quant's critically important because. But I also would tell you that old paradigms at Ford. We did 7 years at Ford, and. J. Walter Thompson. This is being recorded.
Is that okay? Yeah, you don't want.
Well,
you don't have a
problem.
problem.
I think that agencies
Turn it on.
think.
I have it on.
Agency think is until the agencies can figure out how certain things are going to work for them. Or if you've been in an agency, now the small ones are different. Until an agency can figure out what it's going to do for them, they don't. They don't know how to receive it. So therefore, it's like like the vampire, get away.
Yeah,
we know.
Well, things were so much simpler when it was CBS, NBC, ABC, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal. Even before Investors Business Daily, I mean, the world was just a simple place. And and clients didn't ask that many questions. As long as they saw their name in print, they were happy. I would encourage you to start blogging. Not just because we're all here around social media and that's like the social media thing to do, but it is amazing the degree to which you can enhance random good stuff happening because you do have your blog on.
Absolutely. I want to do this. Yes.
Gary Vaynerchuk, the wine guy that's kind of a little crazy but immensely rich now. He blogged in obscurity for a year and a half. He said he did his show for a year and a half, in his words, quote, before anybody noticed. Now, I'm sure somebody noticed in the first 18 months, but after about 18 months, he became this celebrity that almost everybody knows who he is now, and it was just because of his video blog. So I know your goal is probably not to sell $50 million worth of wine this year, but 70. 70.
Is it 7?
Okay.
Wow.
So
From 5.
From 5, yeah. I heard about the 5 part, but It went up
Yeah,
to
it-
70 from 50 pretty quickly, or 45.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been one for three and a half, 4 or 5 years, something, a long time. And I wrote a blog yesterday. I was on Twitter, and very briefly, I was on Twitter, and I went to Forbes to read an article. And I hate the Forbes website. It's horrible. It's so many page views and all this kind of crap to read an article and all that kind of stuff. And I couldn't get through the article. It's just too much junk. And so I Twittered about it, and I said, went to the Forbes, couldn't finish the article because the ads got in the way. Forbes get a clue. And Forbes responded. Yes, exactly. That was my exact reason. So my jaw dropped. And I had, an exchange with him. And I wrote a blog post about this. And I said, I'm applauding Forbes for actually opening their ears and listening and responding to people on social media. And Vaynerchuk tweeted that yesterday for me, which just blew me away.
So what's cool about social media is it has expanded the definition of friend for sure, but celebrity. So now there used to be obscurity, unknown, micro celebrity, and now there's minor. What was it? Nano. Oh, nano and then micro. So now that Gary has retweeted you, you moved from nano to micro. So yeah, congratulations.
Does that have a?
Yeah.
Does
Well,
that have a
takes
time
while.
span?
I mean, it
Yeah.
takes a while to get celebrity.
Yeah.
You got to have 1 million followers on Twitter, I think. So.
Well, celebrity.
I think
but
Gary
that-
didn't make it.
as
He's
a
only got
celebrity.
800,000.
I met a celebrity at.
So-
And I'm not,
Celebrity.
but celebrity because he's on the web.
Yeah.
Dave Carroll. Has anybody heard of United Breaks Guitars?
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And he
You met
was,
the guitarist?
No,
Or the
no,
guy that broke the
I bought him
guitar?
lunch. I bought him lunch. We had lunch. He and his father-in-law came over from Nova Scotia and talk about measuring. He went to sleep that night. He had made a video and uploaded it to YouTube. He went to sleep that night. 6 people had viewed it, and he thought, good. 10 days later, over 1 million hits on YouTube. And today, there's almost 9 million hits on this 1, 2, 3. He made 3 videos, actually. So maybe it's even